Hello class, we're going to the sections, we're going to annotations just as I promised. There's not much, we have some dimensions over here, we have some slope notes here, they're just like elevations. I'll show them at the end of this video, but you should be able to handle it just fine. What I did want to start out with is the elevation or height markers here, just to show you how to do this. You don't have to draw this from scratch. I'll show you how to sort of import it and get it going and get it started. So let me get into that. Right into AutoCAD. Now since this is annotation, I'm going to change my layer over to annotate text and get that going there. And then what I'm going to do is there's some preloaded symbols already in AutoCAD. So to access them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to View. I'm going to go to Tool Palette. And it's going to pull up this unit here. It could be somewhere else on your screen. I want to make sure I go to Structure, and we can see the symbol right here. If I hover over it, it says Elevation Symbol. Make sure it says Imperial for the English system. So I'm going to click on it and then click out here. And for now I can place it anywhere because I'm going to do some editing to it. And this dialog box is going to come up. You can say OK or cancel. I got a few edits I have to make before I deal with that. So then I can just close that box away because I don't need it anymore. You can keep it off to the side, whatever you want to do, and I'll zoom in on it. Now I'm going to go back to my home button up here to get back to my normal ribbon. And we do need text associated with it, but this text, I don't think it's necessarily matching the text we have, and it's in the not a spot I like or anything like that. So to edit this symbol, it came in as a block. So just like when we did Windows to fix it, I'm first going to have to explode it. So I'm going to hit that button there, or X for explode. And then I'm just going to erase this text entirely. Now, we want to put this on the right layer, and it probably is on layer 0. It is, so I'm gonna put it on layer 0. And also, we want it to be green, and it's not turning green because the way this block was set up, in my opinion, bad practice by Autodesk, but I would have done it. I usually never change anything away from by layer from this button right here. So as soon as I change it to by layer, it goes to green. All right. Now it's not positioned correctly, but position it correctly. I'm first going to draw the long horizontal line. For that. So I'm going to start with a line command, or L enter. And this is going to be I'm going to start with the top one. So I'm just going to draw straight across. However far to the right, hopefully we might have to adjust it a little bit later, but somewhere approximately there is going to be good. And we don't want this line to actually be touching the building. That's how we know that it's actually just a note and not a piece of the architecture. So I'm just going to select that, click on it, select that blue dot, and move it back to approximately there. And then I'll just I'll do M enter, and select the base point of that line to this line to move it into place. All right. And now I want to put my own text in here. So I always like using multi-line text. I'm going to go to Annotate. Again, I'm sure you're already there, but make sure this is 3/16 of an inch equals a foot. Make sure this is annotative, and then hit multi-line text. And I'm going to draw a box around here. And now I might have to adjust the location later, but I'll start this way and make sure it cap locks is on and do T.O.W. And that stands for top of wall. I'm going to hit return and say ELEV for elevation. 18, oops, that says 19, 18 foot dash 6 inches, and it's okay. I get the red line to say ELV isn't a word, but it's short for elevation in architecture, and we're good to go. So I'll just click outside. Actually, what I should have done is we want to right justify this, not left justify it. So I'm going to actually just come in, double click to enter, select all the text, come up here to right justify, and then click outside. And actually, I didn't know, this is a pretty good adjustment in location. If that you didn't get it quite as good, if it's not vertically oriented correctly, or if left to right it's not oriented correctly, just move it, enter, and select the text, and then move it to wherever you would like to sort of place it, right? So I can move it around and set it wherever you want to go. And I've got one set, so then I can just copy this whole unit of stuff to do the rest of them. So I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to select this at the top of the second floor. So I'm going to hover over this point and pull straight out till I get a green line going down and a green line going all the way across. And as long as it touches my building, which is good, I've got it set pretty well. And so we'll set this to 10 foot dash 1 space and a quarter inches. And if it automatically makes your quarter into a fraction, that's perfectly good. Just go with it. There we go. And I'll do the same down again. CO for copy. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to copy this straight down to here. Now it's touching my drawing, so I just want to click on this line and pull it back, approximately the same spacing as the upper ones, just like that. And we're calling this 0, 0. And just select just the 10 there and put to 0, and all this and just put that to 0. And there we're good to go there. And we'll copy this last one down to align with the top of the slab. So make sure it's in exact alignment. If you have trouble moving and aligning like I do, you can always draw guidelines up and down and across to get it to line up and erase the guidelines after. But this is going to be elevation negative 9 foot 2 1/4. And if it's if you have a line that you need longer, come in and stretch the text from the right hand side and move it back over like I had to do. It'll be fine. Just like that. So I got those symbols all set up. I'll do the slope markers really quick. You don't have to watch this if you can do it. It's just easier for me to even continue than to stop the video and jump ahead. So this is a 9-inch line. This is a 12-inch line, just drawing a regular line. And now I have some text here, so I can just copy that text. I'll just CO for shortcut, and copy a piece up there, and change this to 12. And then move it into place. And copy this over here for the 9. Oops, I missed. Try it again. It's okay. Even the best of us sometimes have to try once or twice to get exactly the way we want. That's why we have modify commands in AutoCAD. And then we'll come down here and do 3/12. So I'll start here. 3/12. Copy the text. Copy both pieces of text this time. And pull it there. I know I'm going to have to move the 9 up, but actually the 12 I don't need to change. I can stay. Just double click on the 9, change it to a 3. And just to move it up out of the place, I'll move it up or out or over just to be clear of that line. In fact, I might even pull this line back a little bit just so it doesn't get in the way of the 3. It's perfectly fine. There's no exact location. There we go. So I've got that sort of set up that way. Lastly, I got dimensions. I'm going to switch my layer to dimensions here. I'm going to go to annotate, and I'm going to use this dimension. And really, it's the same thing. I click from here to draw this dimension. And the trick is to try to get it so that your dimensions don't interfere with anything in the sections. It's not always possible. In this drawing, I believe it is. So I want to get it here to here. And I'm going to do the same for the first floor. And you also want to align your dimensions when possible. So I'm going to snap to this dimension to make sure my dimension's all straight. And do the last one down here for this inside dimension from here to there. And I've got that drawing finished. So in the next video, we're going to go over to the other section. It's pretty much exactly the same thing, so I can skip a lot of steps, but the big key learning opportunity on the next one is how to do the stairs. So see you for that.